So I haven't done a Danganronpa video in a while, so I guess we gotta do one because I haven't done a What If in a while for that one. So yeah, today we're gonna talk about another What If someone died of instead of another person. What if? I know these are annoying, but like they're cool in my opinion. So this is what would happen if Himiko died, but Angie and Tenko lived. So I guess a soul for two souls scenario. So, let's talk about what would happen if that did happen then. So, we gotta talk about the first chapter to change in this, and that's 3. Now, how would this work? I think it's pretty easy. You could say, for the sake of the story, maybe Himiko walks in on Angie's placement, and Korekyo kills her. But then again, that would probably still lead to Tinko dying or Angie dying instead. So that wouldn't work. But instead, to make it kind of work better, I think it would work better if Angie never walks in, period, while Himiko takes Tenko's place in the seance. So, that being said, it would work for Himiko to die there, while Angie and Tenko both get to live on. How would the trial go? I think Korekyo would still get caught, but if it was in the Angie case, then Korekyo most likely never gets caught and would probably escape alive and would kill for her sister. But I would assume he'd still get caught either way, so Korekyo dies here in chapter 3, and the trial kind of goes the same, I guess, but a lot shorter. Next is chapter 4, and this would be interesting, because the whole thing was like Mew trying to kill to go and see the outside world again, because the world was like in chaos and Mew thought she could save it. So, with that being said, would Mew go after Angie or Tenko? I don't think she'd go after Tinko. Maybe frame her for the murder, but probably not go after her and try to kill her. Angie, on the other hand, she went after Kokichi, and I think Angie's in a similar case where she's very logical, and Kokichi was like that. But Angie was a lot more serious than Kokichi, and I know it's gonna be a hot take, but I think Angie might have more wisdom than Kokichi. I think that's how the narrative prefers it as. Angie was smarter than Kokichi, so for all we know, she may just go after her. Mew would, so that is a possibility. Or she may still go after Kokichi, but then Kokichi would still find out and go into would just kill um Mew. Which if Angie found out, she probably would. Oh yeah, also side note, Angie would probably have been very angry if she found out someone died in her student council. I forgot to say that. But oh yeah, Angie could also kill in chapter 4. I just remembered. Instead of Mew, it could be Angie believing that Atua could save the world or something, and she kills one of. Maybe she forces one of her Atua's followers to kill for Angie to let take their life so Atua could save the world. If we're going with the process of elimination, it would not be Tenko, because she only joined because she was a simp for Himiko, and since Himiko's dead, she probably just quits Angie's little cult thing. It probably wouldn't be Kisamugi because she's the mastermind. Wouldn't be Kibo because, probably not because the and the people and the fans are controlling him. So it just seems unlikely it would happen. And then that would just probably leave Gonta. And if Angie's probably gonna kill in this chapter, it's gonna be Gonta. So either way, Bug Boy is gonna die at the end of chapter 4, unfortunately. Whether it be because he kills Mew or Angie kills him. I think those are like the 3 main scenarios that could actually come out of it. Scenario 1, chapter 4 just goes the same. Scenario 2, Mew kills Angie. Scenario 3, Angie kills Gonta. And we'll probably talk about each one for like chapter 5 and how that would change. Well, let's go to chapter 5. So if we're talking about scenarios 1 through 3 in this whole thing, scenario 1 is if we're going with the original canon where Mew gets killed by Gonta. Well, I I guess if Gonta were to get, like, if Mew were to be killed by Gonta, and that whole thing goes the same, Chapter 5 is very interesting. Tenko could realistically replace Himiko there. Angie. Now, it'd be interesting to see how the whole thing there with Angie would go. For all we know, maybe her and Kokichi could form a group, like a power couple kind of duo, which could have been interesting, but I doubt they would. Uh, Angie would probably. Hard to say how she would feel about the whole Chapter 5 thing. That one's kind of interesting. If we go with scenario 2 where Mew kills Angie, and we got Gonta in Chapter 5. Now, if Gonta's alive long enough to be in Chapter 5, I think there are two scenarios come out of it. Scenario 1, he's basically Kokichi's enforcer, and he's guarding Kokichi for him. Like, he guards everything. Or scenario 2, Gonta joins Maki and Tenko in trying to stop Kokichi. Heck, I actually think they may be able to kill Kokichi, side note, if it's Tenko and Maki. Tenko knows Aikido, Maki's an assassin. Those two together would probably be able to kill Kokichi, let's be honest. And then there's scenario 3. This one's the most interesting scenario, and that's if Angie kills Gonta, leaving Mew to be in Chapter 5. So if she were to live long enough, like Chapter 4 she doesn't die, Mew in Chapter 5 would be interesting. For the Kokichi stuff, I wonder how she would react if Kokichi was using her. So, the whole let alone the whole mastermind reveal from Kokichi. She'd probably feel betrayed that she was helping the mastermind this whole time. But that'd kind of be it. I don't really think much would change with, the story. I still think Kokichi and Kaito die, whether it be scenario 1, 2, or 3. It'd just be interesting character-wise to see how everyone else would react if Kokichi, like, during that trial, to be honest. And that just leaves Chapter 6, the final chapter. This trial, it just goes the same. There's really no changes. Like, maybe a few small changes. It'd probably be interesting to see how Angie would react to the whole Atua being fake. Oh boy. I think there's a lot of potential to see how other characters would react if they found out V3 was fake. Angie was one of the ones that would have been very interesting. So yeah, that would be a very interesting case scenario if we're going with scenario 1 where Angie survives Chapter 4. It would also be interesting to see how you would react to the fictional world thing. It was all fake. That was a very interesting twist, to be honest, and it would be cool to see how the others would react. So overall, if Himiko were to, in conclusion, if Himiko died instead, nothing would really change. Like, maybe changes, depends on what happens. 3 is the only chapter that changes, and 4 could change debatably it depends on the circumstances. 4 could change, 4 could not change. It kind of depends on what happens and what the domino effect settles down to. And then 5 and 6 never really change because there's really no things I can think about that could possibly change in that trial. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.